In the year 2023, on the rugged expanse of South Africa's untamed east coast, the stage was set for a story that would intertwine the beauty and danger of the sea. At its heart were two men, friends bound by a shared love for the ocean, facing a harrowing ordeal that would challenge their very essence. James Mitchell, 41 years old and eternally captivated by the allure of the sea, had long made it his mission to explore every nook and cranny of the coast. He was a man shaped by the relentless ebb and flow of the tides, his weathered face a testament to a life spent under the sun's unrelenting gaze. Mark, James's lifelong friend and a fellow ocean enthusiast, was a rock by his side. Their friendship had weathered many storms, both literal and metaphorical. Mark's presence was a reassurance, a steady hand on the tiller when the sea grew tempestuous, and a fellow dreamer when the horizon beckoned. The day had dawned with the promise of serenity, but it was a tranquility that masked the potential for treacherous beauty. The scent of salt hung heavy in the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of the cliffs that stood sentinel along the coast. As the ocean voyager sliced through the azure waters, the boat's hull sang a song of adventure, a harmony of creaking wood and lapping waves that resonated through the souls of its occupants. Seagulls, inquisitive sentinels of the coast, traced their movements overhead, their calls a symphony of freedom and anticipation. In the hours that passed, the sun danced with the sea, casting a luminous path of gold upon the water. James and Mark, kindred spirits, released their lines into the depths. Each launched a promise of what the ocean might reveal. The water, previously serene, began to tremble under an invisible force, creating ripples that wove intricate patterns on the surface. The cove, hidden from all but the most intrepid adventurers, held secrets that even the most seasoned sailors would hesitate to face. It was then, in that moment of tranquil foreboding, that a presence emerged from the depths, a titan of the sea adorned in stripes as dark as night. The tiger shark, with its eyes like bottomless voids, circled the ocean voyager. Its arrival marked a turning point, a dance of predator and prey. James and Mark, their hearts synchronized with the rhythm of the waves, shared a knowing look. Fear danced with fascination in their eyes. The shark's circling created a vortex of anticipation. The boat, a fragile vessel adrift in a world of untamed power, swayed gently like a leaf caught in a whirlpool. With a sudden, breathtaking burst of speed, the tiger shark lunged at a cooler filled with bait. Its massive jaws snapped shut with a thunderous crash, rending the cooler apart in a ferocious display of power. James knew they were in a perilous situation, one that demanded quick thinking and even quicker action. In a daring move, he and Mark ignited the boat's engine and sped away from the scene, leaving behind a cloud of torn bait and salty water. The scent of shredded bait lingered in the air, tantalizing the senses as the shark, driven by rage, gave chase. The night unfurled, and the moon cast its ethereal glow upon the tumultuous sea. The pursuit evolved into a relentless, heart-pounding race, a battle of wits and endurance between human and beast. James, his hands steady on the wheel, guided the ocean voyager through the unpredictable waves. Each surge and crash was a reminder of their vulnerability, and yet, in the darkness, a glimmer of hope beckoned. The open sea, vast and enigmatic, offered both sanctuary and uncertainty. Hours stretched into eternity, and the relentless pursuit showed no sign of stopping. Exhausted but resolute, James and Mark fought against the tide, their spirits unyielding. Dawn broke on the horizon, its pastel hues painting a new chapter in their struggle. Finally, the shore emerged on the distant horizon, a beacon of salvation amid the unabating chaos. With their last reserves of energy, they pushed the ocean voyager to its limits, racing toward the promise of solid ground. The shark, unwavering in its pursuit, made one final desperate lunge, its jaws gaping wide. However, it was unsuccessful. Gasping for breath and with bodies drenched in sweat and salt water, James and Mark reached the safety of the shore. The warmth of the rising sun enveloped them, offering solace after the night's ordeal. They had eluded the tiger shark, a monstrous apparition from the depths, and had emerged as survivors of a dangerous dance with destiny. As they sat on the beach, their bodies trembling with exhaustion and adrenaline, James and Mark couldn't help but reflect on the experience. They had ventured too close to the realm of the tiger shark, a predator that commanded both respect and caution. In the end, they had survived, but they knew that not everyone was as fortunate. Their encounter with the tiger shark had been a reminder that nature, in all its beauty and mystery, was as enchanting as it was perilous. In the year 2005, on the rugged coastline of North America, nestled between the roaring waves of the Atlantic Ocean and the dense, ancient forests, a group of intrepid adventurers embarked on a business trip with a twist. Leading this expedition was Harry Lawrence, a 32-year-old man with a passion for the wild and a thirst for adventure and research. Harry, born and raised on this very coastline, had a profound connection to nature. His love for the ocean was a legacy from his father, who had been a seasoned fisherman. Harry grew up amidst the scent of salt in the air, the distant cries of seagulls, and the ceaseless rhythm of the waves. As he matured, Harry channeled his fascination into a career. Armed with a degree in marine biology, he dedicated himself to understanding and preserving the fragile ecosystems of the coastline he called home. His dreams extended beyond research papers. He aimed to make a tangible difference, ensuring the harmony of marine life for generations to come. The expedition had taken them to a remote, scarcely charted part of the coast, far from the comforts of civilization. Here, the dense forest embraced the turbulent sea, and the boundaries between land and water blurred. Their mission was twofold: document the mysteries of the forest and the creatures beneath the waves while offering their environmental consulting expertise to remote communities. The days were filled with treks through ancient woods, where sunlight filtered through the dense canopy of trees, casting dancing shadows on the forest floor. Nights were spent camping by the beach, where the crashing waves provided a soothing lullaby. The team marveled at the diverse wildlife they encountered, from elusive forest creatures to the mesmerizing marine inhabitants. It was on one crisp morning, as the sun bathed the coastline in a golden glow, that Harry and his team set out on a small boat to explore the waters. Their goal was to gather crucial data on the local marine ecosystem, part of a broader effort to understand and conserve the aquatic life unique to this region. The sea, vast and unforgiving, held the promise of both wonder and peril. As they ventured further from the shore, the team noticed something extraordinary, a disturbance in the water, like the shiver of a giant awakening from slumber. They exchanged uneasy glances, the thrill of discovery intertwined with a growing sense of unease. As they scanned the water's surface, the team's senses sharpened. The sound of the waves crashing against the boat intensified, as if the sea itself was echoing its growing agitation. The taste of salt on their lips seemed more pronounced, a tangible reminder of their isolation. Then it emerged, a colossal shadow beneath the waves, its dark form sinuously gliding through the depths. Harry, a seasoned adventurer and marine biologist, recognized it instantly, the unmistakable silhouette of a tiger shark. This was no ordinary shark. It was a leviathan, a creature of legend that had inspired tales of terror and awe among sailors for generations. The tension aboard the boat was palpable as the massive creature circled them, its dark, unblinking eyes fixated on the intruders. The team, faces etched with a mix of awe and trepidation, knew they had no choice but to remain still, hoping that the shark's curiosity would wane. But this apex predator had other plans. In a sudden, lightning-fast movement, the tiger shark lunged at the boat, its jaws gaping wide. Harry and his team, caught off guard, scrambled in a frenzy to evade the impending disaster. Heartbeats thundered in their chests, and the world around them seemed to blur into chaos. Just inches away from the boat, the shark's jaws snapped shut with a deafening force, narrowly missing them. The air was filled with the stench of brine and the guttural rumble of a predator's growl. Panic coursed through their veins as they realized the true nature of their peril. The encounter had reached a terrifying climax. The shark, undeterred, circled back, its dorsal fin slicing through the water like a sinister omen. With the team's hearts pounding in their chests, they knew that they were locked in a battle for survival against one of the ocean's most formidable beasts. Desperation ignited their actions as they fought back against the relentless onslaught. They wielded their improvised tools, a boat hook, a flare gun, and even a snorkel, as makeshift weapons. The sea became the battleground of a fragile vessel pitted against the raw, unbridled power of nature. Harry, drenched in seawater and sweat, found himself at the front of the battle. His eyes locked with those of the shark, and in that heart-stopping moment, he recognized a primal determination, a fight for life that transcended the boundaries of species. Gripping the boat hook, Harry lunged at the shark, thrusting it toward the gaping maw of death. The clash between man and beast intensified, each combatant driven by an unyielding will to survive. The shark's massive body thrashed and writhed, its teeth gnashing, while Harry and his team fought valiantly, their shouts echoing over the churning waters. Hours felt like an eternity as they battled to protect their fragile vessel from the relentless predator. Finally, after a grueling standoff, the Coast Guard arrived, their presence heralded by the roar of engines and the sharp crack of warning shots. The shark, disoriented and injured, retreated into the unfathomable depths of the ocean, leaving Harry and his team shaken but alive. In the aftermath of the harrowing encounter, Harry and his team reflected on the profound impact it had on their lives. They had witnessed the raw power of nature and the fragility of human existence, a lesson etched into their very souls. As they returned to the safety of the shore, they couldn't help but feel a mix of awe and gratitude for the untamed world they had encountered. They had narrowly escaped the clutches of the tiger shark. Still, the memory of that fateful day would forever remain etched in their minds, a testament to the indomitable spirit of adventure and the mysteries of the deep. Though they hadn't accomplished their original mission unscathed, they had gained a newfound respect for the wild and the intricate balance of nature that governed their world. The Caribbean Sea stretched out before 28-year-old John Matthews, a vast expanse of crystalline blue, as the sun dipped below the horizon. The secluded beach, hidden away from the hustle and bustle of tourist resorts, lay bathed in the warm, golden light of the early evening. In 2007, John, an unassuming accountant seeking respite from the relentless grind of his demanding job, stood on the shore. He gazed out at the tranquil tableau, his eyes drawn to the horizon where the sun's dying embers painted the sky in fiery hues. John was a man of routine, his life a sea of monotony, each day blending into the next like the undulating waves before him. The idea of adventure, of venturing beyond the confines of his comfort zone, was an alien concept. As John waded deeper into the inviting waters, the world around him underwent a malevolent transformation. The tranquility shattered, replaced by an eerie stillness that settled upon the beach like a shroud of foreboding. Unbeknownst to him, beneath the sun-dappled surface, a shadowy malevolence lurked, a malevolence that would soon surface to claim its unsuspecting prey. The sun, now a mere sliver on the horizon, cast long skeletal shadows that reached out like spectral fingers, caressing the palm trees that rustled ominously in the warm breeze. Then it happened, a sudden disturbance, a seismic shift beneath the water. A shiver ran down John's spine as he felt something lurking beneath him, an unseen presence that sent ripples of dread coursing through him. The once calm waves which had lovingly cradled him grew agitated, their frothy fingers clawing at the shore with a malevolent hunger. The beachgoers, who had been mere spectators to the tranquil scene, now gasped in collective horror. From the depths, a monstrous presence emerged, an immense tiger shark, its inky black eyes fixated on John with an unnatural hunger. It was a leviathan of nightmares, its jagged dorsal fin cutting through the water like a scalpel. As the colossal predator closed in, a tidal wave of terror engulfed John. Panic took hold, squeezing his chest in a vice-like grip. Onlookers, trapped in a surreal nightmare, could do nothing but watch in helpless horror as the drama unfolded before them. But beneath this primary narrative, another storyline was quietly evolving among the onlookers. A group of local fishermen, their faces etched with the weathered lines of countless sea voyages, exchanged knowing glances. They were the keepers of ancient lore, the guardians of maritime secrets, and they recognized this tiger shark, a creature of legend, a guardian of the sea. They understood that what was transpiring was no mere accident, but a calculated test, a cryptic rite of passage that this unassuming accountant had unwittingly stumbled upon. The encounter played out with a horrific beauty, every moment more harrowing than the last. The tiger shark moved with an otherworldly grace, its lithe form slicing through the water with a macabre elegance. Rows of serrated teeth gleamed ominously, refracting the fading sunlight like wicked jewels. John's struggle against the relentless currents and the mounting surge of fear seemed futile. The rhythm of his heart pounding in his chest and the sound of his ragged breaths was echoing in his ears. The climax was a heart-pounding crescendo of desperation and survival. As John neared the shallower waters, his fingers brushed the sandy seabed. The shark, sensing its quarry slipping away, lunged with one final desperate strike. Its gaping maw snapped shut, its teeth gnashing with a ferocity that seemed to defy the laws of nature. Mere inches from John's trembling leg, a collective gasp of dread emanated from the onlookers, mingling with the thunderous roar of the waves. In a surge of raw, primal adrenaline, John clawed his way onto the sandy shore, his heart hammering in his chest like a demented drumbeat. As John lay gasping on the beach, the crowd rushed to his side, their faces contorted in a chaotic blend of concern and relief. As the story of John's harrowing encounter with the tiger shark spread, the once tranquil beach's reputation was forever altered. John's life had irrevocably changed on that fateful day, and he carried with him the indelible memory of the shark's menace, a haunting presence that would visit him in the darkest recesses of his nightmares. The tiger shark, having failed to claim its prey, melted silently back into the depths of the Caribbean Sea, an enigmatic sentinel of the unfathomable world that lurked beneath the shimmering surface. In the serene waters of the Gulf of Mexico, where the palm trees kissed the shoreline, a nondescript coastal town bustled with life. It was a typical day in 2012, the sun glaring down upon the golden sands as beachgoers sought solace from the relentless heat. Our story revolves around Alex, a 24-year-old leading a mundane life as a retail clerk in this tranquil coastal town. He was far from an adventurous soul, just a person content with the simple routines of his ordinary existence. On a sunny morning, as Alex stared out at the glimmering Gulf, an inexplicable yearning for adventure stirred within him. The mundane routine seemed suffocating, and he longed for a taste of the extraordinary, even if only for a fleeting moment. Without a second thought, he decided to set out on his small fishing boat, seeking an escape from the monotony that had defined his life. Alex was no sailor, his boat far from impressive, and his experience with the sea limited to the occasional fishing trip with his father, a distant memory from his childhood. But with a cooler of sandwiches, a few cans of soda, and an itch for adventure, he left the safety of the town's shorelines behind. As he ventured farther into the Gulf, the noises of everyday life receded, replaced by the gentle creaking of his boat and the endless expanse of the sea. A sense of freedom he had never known filled his heart, and for the first time in his life he felt truly alive. Hours passed, and as the sun descended, illuminating the sea with an orange hue, Alex's yearning for adventure was rewarded in the most unexpected way. Emerging from the depths, a shadowy figure appeared, a tiger shark, a colossal titan of the ocean. Its distinctive stripes and massive form were awe-inspiring, and Alex watched in stunned fascination. The shark, however, was unlike any creature he had ever encountered. Its eyes held a malevolent intelligence that sent shivers down his spine. Its movements were not those of a curious predator, but of something far more sinister, something vengeful. Unlike an adventurer or a marine biologist, Alex was unprepared for this encounter. He had no underwater camera, no scientific instruments, and no knowledge of shark behavior. He was just an ordinary man caught in an extraordinary moment, facing a creature that seemed to bear a grudge from a forgotten past. The tiger shark circled his modest boat, its movements growing more agitated. Alex's fascination turned to trepidation, then to sheer terror as the shark, driven by some unexplainable vendetta, lunged toward him. In a desperate scramble, he narrowly evaded the gaping jaws of the predator, feeling the rough caress of its skin against his leg. The struggle that followed was a harrowing battle of wits and survival. Alex fought to stay afloat, his heart pounding as the tiger shark circled, relentless in its pursuit. The shark's eyes held a malevolent gleam, and its behavior defied all instincts. It made repeated, calculated attempts to claim its prey. In a moment of sheer desperation, Alex spotted a rusted harpoon wedged beneath the boat's seat. Summoning every ounce of courage, He seized the harpoon and thrust it toward the shark as it lunged once more. The weapon found its mark, plunging deep into the predator's side. The tiger shark let out a bone-chilling, otherworldly wail of pain and fury. Blood clouded the water, turning the serene sea into a gruesome battleground. The once majestic creature thrashed in agony, its powerful tail creating a whirlpool of frothy waves. But this was only the beginning of Alex's ordeal. The shark, now wounded and more enraged than ever, refused to yield. It continues to circle, its eyes filled with an unnerving intelligence that seemed to transcend mere instinct. It was as if the creature held him personally responsible for its suffering, and it would stop at nothing to exact its revenge. Desperation gripped Alex as he searched his boat for anything that might help him escape this relentless nightmare. In a flash of inspiration, he reached for a piece of raw fish he had used as bait earlier in the day. Gripping it tightly, he cast it far into the water, creating a trail of scent that would hopefully distract the wounded predator. The shark, drawn by the scent of fresh prey and blinded by its fury, followed the trail of fish into deeper waters. Its menacing silhouette gradually faded from view, disappearing into the gulf's depths. The relentless circling ceased, and the waters returned to their tranquil state. But the sense of unease lingered. As Alex finally made his way back to shore, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had crossed paths with a force beyond comprehension. A vengeful spirit of the deep, an entity that defied the laws of nature and reason. He returned to the tranquil coastal town, a nameless hero who had survived a nightmare from the depths. Though he had not sought adventure, adventure had found him, leaving him with a newfound appreciation for the unpredictability of life and the harrowing encounters that could lie just beneath the surface of the ordinary.